We want to provide you with education and resources in order to take all those features and be able to use them to their full extent to, yes, better your lifestyle, have some work-life balance. Like, who doesn't want those things? And you ultimately got into this business to be your own boss, right? To have that flexibility, to do your own branding. And so we are supplying you with those tools to help you along the way.
So today I'm really excited because we are going to have sort of a business to business chat in a way that I haven't gotten to before. I've gotten to talk to some of my friends from the professional side of things when I was working with brands, but now I have made a new friend and her name is Tracy, and I'm going to have her introduce herself. But we both have one thing in common, which is kind of rare and really fun for me to connect with someone who has this. We both have a beauty background in the industry, but we both have found ourselves in corporate settings with our day-to-day life. So on my day-to-day, I work very closely with Vagaro, and on Tracy's day-to-day, she works with Sola. And so, Tracy, I would love for you to introduce yourself, how long you've been in the industry, what made you even think to go corporate, how you landed there, all the good stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Missy. So for those who don't know me, I'm Tracy Ramos. I am the Director of Brand Partnerships and Pro Community at Sola Salons. And I am also a cosmetologist. I'm a hairdresser. I've been a hairdresser for about 15 years now. But I'm also a heritage hairdresser. And what that means is my mom was a hairdresser. She was a salon owner growing up. So my whole life, I've been in the industry and I've always been obsessed with it. And my corporate story is kind of funny. So I spent a fair number of years behind the chair. I used to work at a barber shop. I was a color specialist, specifically Vivids. So I spent years doing that. But when I went to hair school, actually, I looked at the Milady book and I was like, I wonder who writes these. And yeah, literally, I was like, who writes these books? Because you know those like old Milady books, they always had like really old photos in it. I'm like, okay, these need to be cool, right? Like, how do we get these to be cooler? I want to do this. So all throughout my journey as a hairdresser, I always thought like, I love being behind the chair, but I want to be behind the scenes and those people who write these books, but also who is the one making all these posters for our break room, like the color lines? Like, who is doing all these instructional things for these brands? Because I worked at a pretty popular chain. And so we would get, like, if we were introducing a new product into the store, into the barber shop, they'd be like, oh, hey, we're going to do an intro class. And they had always had these pamphlets and these things. I'm like, hey, there's somebody that's doing these and they have to be a professional. So after a few years, I kind of integrated myself into the corporate side at that barber shop. And I was training managers. I was opening up stores. And I made the decision to move to Los Angeles. And I was like, hey, this has got to be my in. So while I was in LA, I was working at a pretty popular like salon with an influencer who owned it. It was really cool experience. I got to meet a lot of clients and really network in the industry. And I saw a job posting for Wella Pro as a hairstyling specialist, like education specialist for a hairstyling brand. And I was just like, you know what, let me apply. And I did the interview process and I got the job. So I started off as the education specialist for Sebastian Professionals and GHD under Christina McCarver, who's still there today, and she's amazing.
I love GHD. I don't feel like we talk enough about GHD, and it's funny because in our area, you know, like obviously like everybody loves the Dyson now, but if this tells me that they're using a GHD flat iron, I'm like, someone 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon'd you from me. Because like I am obsessed with their tools.
They're like really science backed. A lot of people I feel like don't know the technology that goes behind GHD. It's really cool and their education is top notch. So if anybody ever is needing styling education, like very sciencey, they are amazing. Like they're such a cool brand. And so from there, I actually ended up then fully integrating myself to the whole Wella portfolio as an education specialist. So I worked under all the brands, and that's what started my corporate career. And you know, I've been with professional color brands and a chain salon and spa chain right before Sola, and then I came to Sola. And the reason I came here is actually it's a really serendipitous story. I was looking for a role that had all of the pieces of the past roles that I had that I loved. Like, I really am big on DE&I. I'm really big on elevating the pro community and providing really great resources to professionals. And so Sola had this role, and I was like, this is perfect for me. This is what I want to do. I want to elevate the professional experience in the industry, help those pros succeed, and really be able to own their business. So this is a role for me that fulfills a decade's worth of my own like fulfillment in a selfish way.
I love hearing this so much. And also, like, obviously you and I have gotten to work closely with this Sola partnership, but I love hearing the background of Sola looking. So what I hear when I'm hearing this, and I want people to tune into it, is Sola as a brand, corporate, you would look at they're more of like, this is a property management situational situation that we're going to go with it. But what they realized was to thrive and support their community, they needed to bring in an expert like Tracy to help facilitate these types of things for their pros. And I think it's very important to pay attention to brands that invest in these positions, pro to pro like that, because that's when you know they're very dialed in and wanting to see the pros succeed. It's like when that whole like rising tides raise all ships, like Sola that shows me right there. Sola's wanting to see the pros succeed.
Absolutely. And I think it's super important, especially in our business, in the Sola salon studios, salon suites, whatever you want to call it, right? In this business model, it's so important to support the professionals, whether that's through technology, like with Vagaro, through educational resources, which we have a lot to talk about on that, but really equipping people, because this can be a very scary, intimidating step to take in your career, right? But with the appropriate resources and support, it can be something anybody can do, especially if they have the determination and the motivation to do it. So I think that my role in specific is really important with the over 20,000 pros that we have. And it's not just hair pros, right? Now we're taking on multiple categories, and all the other categories aren't necessarily receiving the resources and support that the hair industry does, right? So for us, it's really important to be able to touch every single pro with the way that we can help them elevate their business, make their day-to-day easier, and, you know, at the end of the day, too, help them with overhead costs. And ultimately, all that packages up into helping them succeed behind the chair.
I love it. And this is something, obviously, like, now I'm totally digressing because you got me on a rant. Tracy and I could do this. We're like, hi, you just come to our FaceTime call. But what I love about a salon suite situation, and what I love about Sola investing in empowering pros, is so huge, because if the pros feel empowered, when their businesses do better, everybody else around them does better. And like you mentioned, there are different industries within that one building, which if you are in a Sola suite or in any kind of suite and you are not tapping into the other types of industries and like learning how they operate and like asking them what they do and kind of paying attention to what their day-to-day looks like, you're missing out, because there's so much value to be had when you surround yourself with other service pros doing something different than what you're doing. I learn so freaking much every time I go get a facial, every time I go get Botox. I don't have a tattoo, but I love to talk to tattoo artists. I have learned so much. And Sola, it's like you all are in this like lovely ecosystem where you all get to learn and grow together.
Absolutely. And I think one of my favorite parts of this role is that every day I'm having a conversation in one way, shape, or form with a Sola pro. The other day I was like, I do have tattoos, but I don't know anything really about the tattoo industry, right? It's like this anomaly, and they have their own way of doing business. And there's a traditional, just like Harry's, where there's a traditional step that you have to take in order to then go off and open up your own shop. And as I was talking to tattoo artists, they're like, I didn't even know Sola was an option. And I'm like, yes. So how do we talk about this? How do we talk about that step that you can take to become independent and own your own business? And I didn't realize that from that category is that this is something completely new
Yeah.
to tattoo artists. So for me, I think one of my favorite parts of this role is getting to talk to those pros every day and getting those insights. But I think more importantly, I think you also are talking, you hit something really cool there is there's this network, this ecosystem that is built within Sola that helps each other build each other's business. So, hey, there's an esthetician down the hallway for me and I'm doing somebody's hair and they're like, oh, I really want to get a facial. And you're like, hey, my friend Susie over there, she's the most amazing esthetician. You should go see her. So, organically, you're open to more clients and different clients, but you're creating this really cool community within Sola and helping each other succeed. I think that's the most interesting part of Sola and what we're able to do here.
I love that so much. And it's funny that you say that because when I was originally in a salon suite, when I built my business, everybody on our row, we still all know who each other are. We've all gone very different, but we all know who each other are. We all know where each other landed. You really do build this club of other pros.
Here and building
your business. Speaking of building your business,
yes.
By the time this comes out, the news will be out that officially Sola and Vagaro have partnered together to bring Vagaro, and it's actually, we're calling it My Sola, and this very exclusive Vagaro software to the Sola community. Can you talk to me about, Tracy, why would Sola even think that it's important to partner with an online business management tool, and B, what you think this means for the Sola community?
Absolutely. I think when I first heard about the potential partnership, I was so excited because this means that we can bring an exclusive resource to our Sola pros directly that will help them not only build their business, I think that's an important thing to talk about, but sustain the business that they have and help them in the day-to-day administrative side of things, the financial part of things, right? As hairdressers, I don't know about you or about the community, but we're so in tune with the creative side and getting to do this amazing craft and to use our hands to do things that sometimes, we might not be the best at hey, pulling up our reports or texting reminders, right? And so Vagaro has the ability to do all of that. And I think that this is such an amazing resource for pros to be able to tune into because you can pretty much do anything as far as the business management side of it. But not only that, we all know that Vagaro is this powerhouse in that. But I think where we play really well together, Missy, is bringing the education to pros. We have this amazing business building calendar of webinars that we have for the year. And this is what sets Vagaro apart and Sola apart in the pro community is because we could have just stopped there, right? Here's a platform, you can use it and it'll make your day-to-day life better, but we're going above and beyond that. Let's give you some resources. Let's have you talk to industry experts, financial experts. Let's have you be able to tune in monthly or every few weeks to learn something new. And aside from that, Vagaro also supports the pros as far as, hey, save a few hours a week in administrative stuff by showing you all these tech features that Vagaro can provide you in order to make your business more seamless and more importantly to your client experience. How is that going to ease up for your client on their side of it? So I think ultimately it was a no-brainer, right? You guys are a powerhouse in what you do and we are the biggest, right? In the industry in this category. So for me, when I found out about the partnership and the talks of it, I was like, yes, absolutely. Let's do it because we can do so much more. So much more.
I love it so much. And I agree. I think it's obviously, when we look at it from a business perspective, I think you and I think of it in two parts. It's yes, there is this My Sola business perspective where these two companies came together and agreed on a very approachable, exclusive package for these Sola pros so that it shouldn't even have to be a thought on if you do or don't want to use it to run your business because it's just easy. It's at a very approachable price. They even negotiated the credit card processing, all of that. So we're from this technical side on your business, it makes total sense. But then you've got nerds like Tracy and I that are yeah, but we've got to elevate it beyond that? Like, where does it go past that? Because yes, learning that you should run your numbers and like where to run the report, that's important. But like, why? Like, why does that report matter? And what is that going to change in your lifestyle and your livelihood and your ability to have this sustainable career within the industry? And that magic that these two companies have agreed on to come together and create, I think that's where it gets really special too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you hit the nail on the head there when you said, like, all of these resources above what Vagaro can do as far as the platform. That's the reason why I'm in my role, right? Like, we want to help you, yes, and provide you with this tool that Vagaro has, but Vagaro is partnering with us to do so much more than that. We want to provide you with education and resources in order to take all those features and be able to use them to their full extent to, yes, better your lifestyle, have some work-life balance. Like, who doesn't want those things? And you ultimately got into this business to be your own boss, right? To have that flexibility, to do your own branding. And so we are supplying you with those tools to help you along the way, specifically to helping those that might be new to this side of the business. I think this is going to be super helpful, but those who have been in their business for a long time too. It's, hey, have you pulled this report? Do you know you can do this? Can you do that? Like, these are some of the things that we want to bring to the forefront, because ultimately our ultimate goal for all of this is to support the pro and support them on their independent journey.
100%. And I think, as someone who I built my business in a suite, and then I owned a 10-chair salon, and I actually ran both of those things on Vagaro. But I have found myself at the end of my, sort of behind the chair career back in a suite situation. And when you combine a suite that makes it so easy for you to walk in, listen, when the AC breaks and your name is on that lease, that is not a fun day. Okay?
No.
Towels at the salon because you have low water rising. My daughter's literal like Pottery Barn, like towel hoodie thing lived at the salon, and everybody knew, like, if it's raining, put it at the back door because it's coming in. Like all those little things where when you own your own business, yes, it is so cool. And I learned so much. I would not trade it for the world. But when I tell you that the peace of mind and the ability to just live my day in my day, doing the things that I love, when you pair being in a suite with an online booking business platform, it is the equivalent of when Starbucks came up with online mobile ordering. You don't go talk to anybody. You just walk in. Your life has changed. Like,
it's your own personal, like, digital assistant, right? Like, hey, Vagaro can do that. Like, why are you spending time doing this manually?
yes.
It does that for you. Like, use it. Save yourself some time. Like, save yourself time. Back to that work-life balance. You need work-life balance, right? So let Vagaro use all the features to get you there, right? Get yourself some peace of mind. Have some time to watch your reality TV after work, right?
I mean, in case anybody's wondering, the day that we're recording this is the day after, like, the Bravo universe just got exploded. So I was like, I have nobody to talk to about this.
Why to sideline this conversation?
So anyways, Tracy, I feel like you all just came and we just had a FaceTime chat, but really what I wanted to highlight in this is something that I am not shy about loving, which is Vagaro. And I am also not shy about saying that I've always loved Vagaro. Even when I worked for Schedulicity, I was running my business on Vagaro because it just worked for me. And so combining these two powerhouses, a Sola Salon Suite and this Vagaro partnership, is something that I think is really special. And I am so excited to see. I feel like Tracy and I can have like a follow-up conversation on what's going and what we've learned after this.
Yes, absolutely. No, this was so fun, Missy, and I'm just so excited for this partnership and all of the things that we're going to bring Sola pros and how we're going to help elevate their business.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tracy. We'll talk soon for sure.
Yes. Thank you, Missy.
Bye.